All right. What is going on, my dudes? Today we have the cutest BMW. This is a 135i. I actually really like this car. It's a small BMW, but it's sporty, little two-seater. Yeah, this is a cool looking car. Definitely don't see very many of these. I have never tinted one in person, but we will go over what is needed to be done to tint this one. Things to watch out for are really the front doors. They have a dot matrix border. It's a little bit tighter together, so I'm going to do the best I can to try and make that look good. And then also, they're frameless too, so we got to take a little bit more time with those. They shift up and down, so we want to do those, let them dry a little bit longer. But yeah, what is up? What is up? And look, it's a black car, so you can see the chat now today. Long time since I've been in a stream. Good to have you. Yeah, today we're starting just a little bit later. I get the car here, and then there's always something that happens where I just like, and then I get distracted. You can tell it's black by the way it is. Facts. I need to find... if I misplaced a pack of blades. I feel like I did, but I could have just used all of them, because I had 2 full packs not too long ago. Now I have 2 empty packs. Good morning. What's up, man? I'm still loving the tint you did on my cruise you did. Oh, nice. Glad to hear it. That's awesome. Aww. That's so cool. We're building up this little local community now. I've been so, like, all over the web that it's nice to actually, like, people that have come and got their cars tinted now. That's special. All right, we're just changing some blades here, and then we're going to get started. Anybody ever done one of these? I haven't. I've done a lot of frameless BMWs. Haven't done this one yet. So, it's cool. I like it. How long do you give clients warranty on the job? Lifetime warranties. I don't install anything without a lifetime warranty. So basically, if you have any issues with it, minus physical damage that was done to the tint, you know, like keys or something scratched it, warranty covers everything else. Can I send you my car from Australia? Let's do it. The shipping's a little expensive. Might take a little bit of time, but we can do it. Although warranties is going to be a little tricky too, because you got to ship it back, and you know. Is this live? Yes, it is. Yeah, feel free to ask away. All right, we're going to get started, though. So you can ask whatever questions while I'm working. It's all good. I try and answer whatever I can. Sometimes chat gets real busy, so I can't get to everything because I got to talk at the same time, so I don't always hear everything. But I try to. I try to do a good amount here. So let's see where this is. GoPro. Okay, looks like we're good. I need to do 70% front windows because Iowa rules, but I can't find it anywhere. Just Google local tint laws. You'll be able to find good breakdowns, so like tintlaws.com or something like that. There's a bunch of websites that have that info. Some of them are pretty strict on 70%, so basically that would mean anything but the factory glass, because factory glass is already like 75 to 85%. So that basically means they don't allow anything besides that, so state laws will vary. Leaving for tint off. Wish you were going. Aw, yeah. I can't find 70. You'll be able to find it in ceramic. I have it. Okay. Look like you're losing some weight. Hey, it's the busy season. It comes and goes. All right, so we're going to latch these. So what that means is very simple. You want to trick these into thinking that the door is closed. So that's all you do. So you literally put the latch in. You can use a screwdriver, you can use your knife, you can use anything that'll get there. Just if you're doing Camaros, Mustangs, bunch of vehicles that have shifty windows, you can do that. Oh, that one's a little down. I wonder, you know, another thing to check, just in case. Just in case. R is probably the better word to use, are the windows rolled all the way up? So definitely want to make sure that, because you could have them slightly down and then run into problems. So I just want to make sure that where this shifts, see it's a little down from that, just want to make sure it's up as high as it'll go. Looks like that is. Same thing on this side. Looks like same deal on that side. All right. Just want to make sure we're not shorting ourselves. So back to the 70% question real quick. So that's a real, it's a tint law that kind of is in a handful of states. I didn't know Iowa specifically, but it is in New York. They have a 70% tint law. And basically what they're getting at is not that you can have 70%, but that nothing is legal on any of the windows that say 70%. Yes, you could do like a 70%, but when you actually put a meter, so if I put the meter on this glass, it's going to be anywhere from 75 to like 85%. So if you put 70% over that, your glass is actually going to be darker than what the legal law is. So if you're trying to keep it within that guideline, you're going to have a hard time if you're looking for 70. You're going to want to look for something even lighter than that. Basically, you're going to want to, if you want it tinted at all, use like a very clear ceramic film. How much did we charge? Sure. So this was a color stable job that we're doing the full windshield on. This is $370 for the full thing. So sides, back, and full windshield. We were talking about doing the sunroof, but it's already tinted 20%, so he's all good with that. There was also film on this before that he removed, but he watched the channel. So he did a good, it looks like a real good job on the removal. We will make sure that all the little corners and stuff have been polished up to make sure there's no like little residue and stuff behind, but I mean, as far as removals go, this looks like it was done really well. Plus he's a car guy, so car guys are typically better about the work that they do on cars because they understand it. Do you have a full list of tools you use? Actually, I do. It's on Tint Depot's website, tintdepot.com/tintstuff, and sometimes the link will pop up in chat. So, Tint Depot. Hey, that link should give you all the recommendations. Those are the main tools that I use, and they're pretty much all available there. There are going to be like a few random ones that sometimes I'll just different tools that I use at the time, but they generally have a pretty updated list. Got the updated list? Hell yeah. Oh, that works so well. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. As far as all the tools you need, $200 to $250 would give you basically everything but like a tank sprayer. Getting into window tint is pretty easy. Just the film is the main recurring cost. All the tools, they add up, but they're not like you get. If you want to be a mechanic, you could spend $400 plus on an impact gun. So thousands of dollars into a toolbox. I mean, hell, you can go crazy with it. Window tinting, it's, I don't know. If you spend $1,000 on tools, you're pretty much just double, triple, quadruple. You got a good stock of everything. When we have glass-eyed, I have some really bad news. So they keep doing this thing where I check 30 days, and they're like, it looks like it's delayed another 30 days. So that's happened twice. And it, unfortunately, I checked yesterday, and they're like, it's looking like it's going to be towards the end of June, and I'll get back to you for sure on Monday with a dock date because all the container ships are pushed back. Yeah, worldwide logistics absolutely blow right now across so many industries. So, dude, unfortunately, we've looked into alternatives, haven't been able to find anything successful yet. Glass-Aid's really kind of unique because it ticks a lot of the boxes. So Tint Depot, they ran out of stock as far as I know. They've been trying to get more too. Like it's listed there. Dragon had a handful of rolls left. Sun Distributing, 44 Tools. They've all been pestering me about getting more, and I wish I could get more, but I sucks. So I'm doing everything I can, but end of June right now. I was told beginning of June, so. No laws were made against Glass-Aid. How do we do this? I think I gotta splice this one just a little bit. This is one of those unique little doohickeys here. I can split this and check it out. You can see what we're dealing with here. Just little, no. I should go get a panel tool then. Sometimes these will pop apart real easy. Sometimes they get brittle over time and I don't want to push it. There's this little wire here, but the dots basically are connected, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to just splice it. A little nervous on that. Let me get a screwdriver. Something I can separate that a little easier with. But if it's gonna be a big sketchy pain, then, oh, that's the last thing I forgot to pick up. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to get what I can. There we go. See? It's just getting the right spot. We can take a better look. How many cars can you get? Usually about 10. See? That pops apart. We can look at this wire. Well, we got a few little guys here. I don't want to go too crazy on this. There's a sensor. So that puck is there. Huh. So this is a twist off style. Nothing crazy. But what I want to know is, can we unplug this one, or is it just a lot of wires here that want to be a big pain and don't want to come out of their housings. Aha! I think we figured this one out. Is it like glue? So there's one. I hate working around these. That's, yeah, like if I can, if it's not too much trouble to just kind of pop out, I'll do it. So that's kind of what I'm feeling out here. I don't want to push things too much. I'm not gonna get it to the point where something's gonna snap. Because there's little pressure, like, you know, just one little plastics grabber. So we're just gonna see if we can pop these out or not. And if not, it's fine. We'll splice it. We still got the mirror out of the way. That'll make it easier. But seeing if we can get it just that much better. So now you guys kind of can see the inside of one of these. It's generally something I don't take apart very much, but yeah, they're just tough little guys. Come on, we got all the other ones off. Aha! See, there we go. We got it out of the way. So now we can tape around this module. We don't have to splice it. Sweet. And we didn't break anything either. Double bonus. Haven't wrapped all week, feel like I'm dying. Well, that's no good. You know, my shop feels a little bit like a sauna. I got air up front, but I don't back here. But I leave the door open, so sometimes it'll spill over. Sauna helps with everything. I feel like we get really accustomed to saunas in humid states indirectly. I know it's not, I'm kidding, I know it's not the same. All right, where's my baggie? How do I always do that? Oh, there it is. All right. I got used to tinting without air conditioning. I don't like it, and I'll suffer. I'll suffer without air conditioning, but I mean, here it's cold a good part of the year, so that's why most shops don't invest in air conditioning. Heat is more of a priority, and even then, some of them are pretty sketchy on heat. There's one place I would tint at out in an area called Pontiac, and Pontiac used to be cool, and then the automotive took a crash, and so did the city. So, like a lot of big city areas, they took, you know, we have the Motor City, but Detroit got its reputation because it was super built up, and then a lot of those failed. So it's been through some rough times. So Pontiac can be a little sketchy. And I was tinting at this one place, and it was basically like you could fit a full-size truck in it. You just couldn't open the doors all the way, and the bed would always stick out the back. So summertime, you can close it halfway down, and it's not so bad. Or you just leave the door open and deal with some slight breezes. Wintertime, every once in a while, I'd have like a full F-150, F-250 beat to hell, sticking out the back, and there'd be snow on the ground. Oh, that was miserable. Not fun. That's on the outside. So I'm looking for any areas where there might be some residue, and I'm not really seeing it. So that's good. So we got that. Just grab our dry shrink. What? Can we... Let's keep on topic here a little bit, huh? Oh, I gotta do those quarter windows too. Not a whole lot of windows to tint on this thing. But as you guys remember, in the last five window car, that back window took us a while. Probably not the same story with this one. I'm expecting more time on these doors for those dots. These are the junky looking rolls. I've shipped them all out though. I'm out of those too. I have like a very few amount left for myself. I'm seeing like some little lines, so I'm assuming they're just hopefully not scratches or anything. Hopefully they're just like residue lines or something. Oh shit. Oh, you got some ah, no. There's some definite glass scratches in here. Some pretty ooh. I'm seeing these right down here. Damn. I should make a phone call real quick. Yeah, it was really hard to see outside. Little like spider lines. They were there when I got it? Oh, okay. Well, that's good. So the owner is actually watch the channel, which is just sweet. You guys know it's been happening a lot more lately. It's like here and there, and now it's a little bit more consistent. Dude, it's awesome. Finally building up a little local client base to see the channel. It means a lot. So Zach. Welcome, Zach. Thank you for bringing your car in. Should I buy a keg from Amazon? Ooh, that's an interesting discussion. Grapplebees, bro, I need that sticker. Oh, you guys. Oh, that's so cool. Thank you guys. I like you guys being nice. I know that might not sound like anything crazy, but in the internet culture, it definitely can be. Okay, so yeah, I saw this the other day. Somebody saw a keg that you could now buy on Amazon for like $80. Wow. The glass scratches are the least of the concern when we talk about the oil leak from a boost. Fair enough. Okay, but we're here to do a tint job, so we want to make sure that turns out as nice as possible. I like this car. All right, I'll defend this car tooth and nail. This is a very interesting car to me. To me, this is like the Mini Cooper of the BMW world. I love Mini Coopers. They have a lot of personality. This is small. This is sporty. This thing's sweet. I like this a lot. And it goes pop, pop, pop when you rev it up. So with the keg, As far as I know, you'd be fine. So those kegs come from the brewing industry. So you can find them on self-brew sites and stuff as well. What's cool, though, let me talk about tint keg here a little bit because they are more expensive, and they use similar kegs. So they're ball lock kegs. They're not too hard to find. You can actually find some of them used, and even save you some money on them too. But what's cool is I'd suggest at least buying a new one so you know it's not full of like old sticky shit and whatnot, and it's all nice and clean. So one thing that Tint Keg does was they'll actually outfit it with 2 ball locks if you want. They upgrade all the parts, so all the fittings and stuff. They're stainless steel. They're not going to rust on you. They up the pressure release. They up the air fill here. And they give it a really, really pretty design. And the whole thing comes with lifetime warranty too. So, yes, if you want to go that route, you can definitely save some money, but there are some legitimate reasons to get something that's already pre-outfitted, ready to go. So that doesn't even include the hose, the brass sprayer on the end. So, yeah, you can definitely try and save a little money and pick all your parts and stuff. Or you can go with like a prefab one. Up to you. They'll both work well. The thing I would definitely suggest is making sure you got yourself a good hose. A hose and a brass sprayer. Some people like the plastic sprayers. They always let me down. All right, so let's check out these seals here. Not too bad. Pretty typical BMW here. What's the difference between the fan or the cone sprayer? That exactly. So the cone sprayer is adjustable, but if I spray it on a surface that doesn't have any water on it, it'll do this and kind of leave the center not so much unless you go to like more of a fine mist spray. Even then, you know what I mean? Like there's some adjustment there. The fan tip is non-adjustable and just whoosh, will do a pretty good coating of the whole window. It's actually pretty good. I'd recommend picking up both and playing around with them and see how you like both of them. Because you can get the cone sprayer and then just unscrew it and you put a fan tip on there. So different sprayers for different people. Figure out what you like. I have both, but I prefer the fan. That's exactly why you try both. I kind of thought the cone was better, and like, why would you use the fan one? And then I actually tried it out for a little bit, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. $130 PSI? Woo! That's a lot of pressure. I'm typically upwards of like 70 to 90. They're just corny kegs? Correct. They've been making them for a long time. Why the Blue Max today? I needed to swap the blade. The clear crush bit the dust, and I had a blocky Blue Max, and I'm like, let's try Blue Max again. It's summertime, so. I don't know. I just had one laying around and I want to use it again. I really like the Blue Max. I like all of them in their own way. I just will use one longer than the other, and then I like switch around. It's just been fun. No crazy reason. How do you get your camera angle that way? I just tilt the camera. It's in wide on a GoPro, so just set it to wide. If you're doing some recording. Can you share how you're able to work and read the chat at the same time? Yeah, be psychic. No, in all seriousness, text-to-speech. So there's a nifty program called Restream.io. So it's kind of like a byproduct along with that. There's also a site that'll do it called Speech Chat. You have to find some way, like an existing platform that'll have the option to just read the chat to you. And Restream has a nifty little software that goes on the desktop that'll do it. So I'm a big fan. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to do this. There's just no way. I want to fix this edge just a little bit. Just get a little bit closer. So I'm just trying to make sure all this is lined up. Three-gallon keg? 3 gallons my favorite. I'm with you on that. I have a 5 because when I set this up, I've been using 3 gallons forever, and I figured when I'm not moving a keg around very much, leaving a 5 in the corner would be a good way to go. But I actually refill it up to the point where I'm like, I wish I had a 3 gallon. So I still like the 3 gallons. Are you game? I don't understand what you mean. That sounded funny. Yeah, the blocky one's definitely harder. I have Restream and I didn't know I could do that. Oh, okay, so go to the chat app that Restream has. So you can download it, install it on Windows, and then go to notifications, and it'll have an option for text-to-speech. I think I just want to go full install. I didn't even want to leave this window. I just want to finish it. How long does it take to dry? It depends on the weather. This time of year, it'll be dry within like a day or two. So I always tell people, usually the earliest is like 2 to 3 days, just to be on the safe side. But you're able to roll it down, like you should be able to roll it down immediately after you tint it. Does the GeoShield ceramic actually block out tons of heat? Thinking of switching brands, I've seen some people recommend it. In that case, I would definitely recommend picking up like even sample of it and just trying it out on your own car and see how you like it. Yeah, I like it a lot. Most of their ceramics block out up to like, seems like 75%. So a good amount of heat. I have to look at the spec sheet, but most of the time when I do the heat lamp demonstration, the BTU meter generally falls within 75% reduction. Ceramic hits differently at night. Well, you don't really have the sun at night, but still looks good, still acts good. I mean, you'll get all the benefits of a regular dyed film, except the added bonus of infrared heat rejection. How many cars can you get out of an average roll? So, sides and the back, you'll get about 8 full cars out of like a 36 or a 40-inch roll. Out of a 60, you'll get usually up to like 12 cars. When it comes to seeing out your windows, it's nothing but darkness. No, that has nothing to do with it. I mean, maybe you got some weird ceramic. I don't know. But like literally, the shade has nothing to do with the ceramic. Not really. You can get into semantics on it, but no, tint is tint, shades are shades, and then you have the, like, better ceramics will be a little clearer, but yeah, the ceramic, like, one versus the next side by side, at nighttime, you'd be hard-pressed to tell me which one is actually ceramic and which one isn't. Low angle haze is possible, sure, on cheaper ones, absolutely. But that's daytime. I got scammed then? I guess so. Like, I'm trying to understand. So, like, there's a couple of misconceptions that I hear in chat, and that's like, ceramic looks better. I wish that were the case. Like, honestly, you put one up against the other, you could not tell me which one is genuinely ceramic and which one wasn't unless you know the tone of the color, tone of the film beforehand. They like to put a lot of fancy marketing materials and stuff in them. But honestly, the main benefit is going to be infrared heat rejection. You know, some shops will tell their customers that, yeah, give it a few days and it'll darken up. No. The shade that it is the shade that it is. Some glues can appear a little hazy after they're freshly installed. I've seen that. Generally don't see that anymore, but not much. Yeah, I wish it was as simple as, like, you know, with a phone, right? You have a faster phone, you have a newer software, computer. So the more you spend, the faster your computer is. With tint, the more you spend, the better the heat reduction is. But that's not really something that's tangible until, like, you're out in your car driving around. So, a lot of random misinformation about that. I'm what I say, a relatively bad salesman on it. I don't smoke and mirrors it at all. This is what it is. I help you find what you're looking for. So this one, we're doing a nice color stable dyed job. He's mostly going for aesthetics. And that's what we're doing. So on this, I like to get real close. Well, like on all the windows, I like to get real close. But so on this one, you have the dot matrix on the side, and getting those to look good can be a little tricky. So I want to try and make sure that whole little border has been overlapped. We're like, look at that. Look at that corner. Oh, we did it justice. You can hear that squeegee this time. I think ask about, gotta plant that seed, gotta ask about kids in the back. Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm getting better. So I can talk to customers, but I'm not great at sales, I would say. So I'm never trying to sell people stuff that they're not looking for. But when you haven't known there is a difference between films, that can be a lot to kind of wrap your head around why the other ones are so much more expensive, or can be. The carbon's a nice in-between, but going to a full ceramic, sometimes it can be a big jump. So especially in a colder state. But I mean, I still very much appreciate driving around with it on the Blazer. So, usually it's one of those things that once you have it, you don't want to go back to not having it, because once you feel that difference in your daily, you look like you're prone to skin cancer. Ouch! Thank you. I ordered a roll May 25th and it still hasn't gotten here. Shoot me an email then, because it definitely should have. It should have been shipped out for sure. Rolls, we don't fuck around with rolls. Geo gets rolls out next day. So yeah, I'm really sorry about that. Hit us up, we'll get it straightened out. mytintstuff@gmail.com. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to prevent here. So you should have gotten a tracking number too, right from the website. As soon as it went out, you should have gotten a tracking one. But yeah, mytintstuff@gmail.com. I thought these dots were spaced out a little bit. They're actually not as bad. They're just like the other one, I guess. Okay. Just want to make sure this corner lays down right. Because if you get this sealed up right, you don't have that big, ugly stuff happening. You don't want the whole thing to silver on the side. It looks like shit. So we're preventing that by locking all this water in there, and it'll seal around the dots really nicely. It's more obtainable on something like this because you can get to it really easily. On the dots around and you have glass on both sides. You have a little glass border here and a little glass border here, right? So if you get that all sealed in up there, air's got nowhere to leak in. Well, except for the bottom, so you want to try and do the same thing on the bottom. So that this get hot. We might be butt up right on the dots, so it looks like it's safe enough to let it sit and then let it dry out a little bit more. But we're getting it. Getting it. Ooh, that's looking good. Yep, it's just gotta dry. All that water will sit right in those little cracks and stuff, like in the little raised edges. So once that like perfectly dries out, ooh, that looks so much better. Nice, very nice. I think we got a very slight overlap up here that we're gonna have to take care of. So we're gonna let this dry first. Oh, don't freak me out. Oh, it's on the outside. Whew. Scares me. I checked in the shop on the website and it said unfulfilled. Then there must have been a bug where the order didn't go forward or something. But yeah, I'll definitely look into it. We'll get you squared away. mytintstuff@gmail.com. Shoot me the order number, and I will definitely get it taken care of. Is that window all the way up? It is. It is. We checked it right at the very beginning. It kind of freaked me out because it didn't look like it was. But we turned on the key, messed with the windows, latched them. They're all good. Canon. Jose with the 5. Looking good. Have questions. You think if I do 35 and 50 Pro Nano ceramic, will be close to 25. 35 over the glass will be closer to 30. It won't be far off from 25, but it'll definitely be like closer to 30 when you meter it on the glass. Thank you for the 5. Also, if you could write out your question a little bit, I'd understand, because I don't understand the 50. Oh, you mean combine? Oh, 35 and 50. No. I think it'll be darker, honestly. I mean, you might get an interesting look, but no, I don't think that's going to quite look 25. I just don't. Yeah, I wish they had a 30%, but they don't. Sorry, I get it now. Okay, so let's throw a meter over this so I can better illustrate what's going on too. Unless I totally lost my meter that I used literally yesterday. Okay, perfect. So, while we have just a little bit of time, let's see what this glass meter's at, first off. So, glass is gonna, that's why I said like 35 over it isn't actually gonna meter 35. So this is at 100% right now. We put this over the glass. What are we metering at? 84%, 83%. So, 83%, you put the tint over that. So we're metering at 19. So my 20% within a percentage, that's not unusual. That's actually really cool because sometimes I've seen a 5% difference with other films. Geo's been really accurate. So if you do film over glass now, this is 20, right? What is this actually going to be? This is going to be 17 here. So it already changes it up a little bit. So 35 over the glass is already going to give you really near to like 30. So doing like a 50%, it might actually have a really nice look to it, but I don't think it would quite meter exactly what you're looking for. But what is numbers anyways? So that's kind of the funny thing too. There were customers that would they'd get like 15 on the back, 20 on the front, and then you pull their car out and they'd look at it and they go like, "You did the same shade." And they'd open the doors, they'd look through it, they're like, "That's exactly the same shade." And then you go grab the meter and you show them that it literally has a 5% difference between the two, and they're like, "But it looks the same." Numbers with tint can be whatever. That was just always a funny thing that would happen. Not always, but every once in a while. Thanks for your stream. Thanks for the stream. Thanks for the glass. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, no problem. Glad you like them. I have fun doing them. Okay, so how... Oh, it's definitely summertime. What are numbers? Only universal constants? Yeah, you know, besides that, whatever. Alrighty. You know, besides what we do everything off of, basically, and run our whole lives off of time, and, you know, what are numbers? Have you tried just using Dawn? I have. It's too sticky for me. I'd rather use just baby shampoo, but depends on the film that I'm using. So I use a mix of both, but that's what I did. I used just Dawn, and then I used just baby shampoo, and then I settled on using both together. It's been working out much better. Still has those days. When you get into the hotter weather, you start getting little snag spots and stuff like that. They can get really annoying. Which size rolls do you use? So these are 40s. They're generally 40s hanging on the wall over here. Those are 60s, and they'll usually have 36s and 24s in them. You know, cutting with 30s, so much better. What the? Are the sounds even working? I don't. Oh, wait, no, the sounds are all the way down. My bad.
Notice me, Tint God. How's your weekend, bud?
I didn't realize that the sounds were all the way down. Oh, it's not actually working. Okay. Kendall! Kendall with the 2. Notice me, Tint God. How's your weekend, bud? It's going pretty good, pal. It's not bad. I actually felt like a total hack this morning, though. Let me explain. I turned it up. So, stupid last-minute thing. Oh, you know what? Is this open? Whoa! Okay, we're gonna leave that up. Maybe that'll fix it.
Kendall Roberts super chatted $1.99. Notice me, Tint God. How's your weekend, bud?
All right, well that worked. Yeah, so this morning I had T-front doors and a windshield strip, and I felt like just a total hack. The work went fine, except I accidentally did it in the wrong shade. I default, like, it was supposed to be 35 on the front doors, and I defaulted to, like, oh yeah, it always factory match. So I grabbed 20%, throw it on the doors. He's waiting up front, and then I was like, I get both of them done, and I'm going to do the strip, and I'm like, no, oh God, I did it wrong. That sucked. And then I had to strip them, and then I had to redo them, and it was just a job that should have taken like not long at all, and then it just took way longer than it should have. God, did I over-round it again? Maybe slightly. All right, let me trim this off one more time. Let's do the same thing we did on the other side. That's fine. Then they'll matchy-matchy. But yeah, that totally sucks. So that was part of my morning. There we go. I just squeegee once now, twice causes streaks. Eee. Ugh. Yeah. Hot weather. Hot weather for sure. I hate messing up then rushing. Exactly. You get this overwhelming sense of stress that's just like, ah. So it, like, I feel extra bad because he was sitting right there. So it's like he was watching, everything's going good. Next thing I know, I'm literally pulling the doors off, and it's like, I'm sure he has no idea why, other than maybe I messed up. He was cool, but I just want it to go straightforward. It's just extra, like, sucks, embarrassing, whatever. What do you get at Starbucks? I usually just go with a mocha right now. But now that it's getting hot outside, it's been a minute since I've gone. All through the wintertime, I was getting mochas there. I was on a mocha kick. Cafe latte hot. Those are pretty decent. You know what? It's a crazy one. You want to hear a crazy one? There's this YouTube channel. I don't remember which one it was, but my wife was watching it, and on the channel, they had this weird Starbucks challenge where they would order whatever the people in front of them got, and to try something different. And so what they ordered was a green mocha or green matcha frap with eight pumps of raspberry. Ooh. Is it gonna say it? Is it gonna say it?
Jose 78 Rios super chatted $2.99. Texting uno dos tres.
Jose with the 3, testing uno dos tres, thank you. Did that have like a severe echo to it, or was it okay? But yeah, so it was a green mocha frap, and it had 8 pumps of raspberry in it, and it sounds like it would be disgusting. And I think 8 is a little bit much on the raspberry. It was actually really good though. I go a little light on the raspberry, like maybe 7, I think is what we usually did. Crazy echo? Okay. Let me turn this down a little bit. I thought I could have it play at the same time. I think I gotta change something. There's like one more thing I have to tweak in order to get it, because I have it playing over the speakers, so you can hear it'll blast in the shop. But I also want you to be able to actually hear it, and it sounded really faint sometimes when I'm like in a car or working on it or whatever. So I was just trying to fix it up. Is a film bad if it curls on the edges? What? Oh, when shrinking? Not exactly, but that would be really frustrating. Film curling when you peel the liner is another one of those little things that drove me up a wall. I can't deal with that. There's one company where I had to deal with that for like a little while. You'd put a roll of film, you put like scraps on the car or something like that. Like, you know, all the little top edges and stuff like that. Cut them off, set them down. They just spiral up and roll onto the floor. It was ridiculous. You think if I said it would switch your camera? No. Maybe it might if you catch it at the right point in time, but it might be too much of an accent on it to mess with the camera. and too far away. Although voice-activated super chat camera switching sounds like it could be a thing, although irritating for other people though. I agree. Stupid dots. Yeah, it's one of the weirdest, ugly aesthetics I've seen. But if as long as we can blend them in, that'll make them acceptable. There we go. So I try and keep these off of the edges as much as I can when I'm sliding them into the place, because it'll actually start to dry it out a little bit towards the edge. You want them to be slippery so you can get it right there, right where you need it to. There's times that frameless windows, tinting them like this, were incredibly frustrating for me, because I'd do like a Mustang or something. I'd get it most of the way there, and then all of a sudden it would tack up on me. You have to pull the film back, wet it down, do it again. Just keep finessing it. Nope. It was worth a shot, but it didn't work. You gotta try again. It's got a pretty heavy accent on it, so I wonder how much that messes with it. And then I'm also a little far away, so if I get closer. Nice try, Jose. Or can we say the super cheesy, no way, Jose? Torch. You know, if we want to tack it up faster, yeah, you can absolutely use it. Torches are good, especially for that. No way, Jose. All right. That looks like it went pretty well, huh? Kendall with the 2, uno dos tres. Thank you for the super chat. I changed the camera names too. So, little heads up on the way that the voice changing works is it picks it up on the microphone that I'm using. Has nothing to do with chat, but yeah, when it's played over the speakers, there would be a chance. The what was I trying to say? How would you get it? Oh yeah, we changed the names of the little cameras to camera 1, camera 2, and then camera 3. But see, Canon. Well, there you go. You got to change that way. spacing it out. So if I'm talking about something and then I casually mention like, hey, I had a good day today, GoPro, it usually doesn't switch. You have to have like a direct pause. So that makes it extra challenging because I have to stop talking and then you have to be near the microphone. So it would be a really GoPro. You have to be really clever about your timing. So it picks up sentences and then it picks up individual words too. God, this whole thing is silvering out. That is not what I wanted to see. So we're gonna try and just dry a lot of this. Jose with another super chat. Sorry, I missed it. Oh, it's doing the whole thing down the whole thing. Why is it doing that? That's no good. This one looks like it's closer, almost. Well, it's even. Damn. I'm trying to get this so it doesn't look like there's a dot matrix at all. It's either even or it's totally uneven. That would suck to have both, I guess. Here, let me try something real quick here. We're gonna pull it back just a little bit and spray it. Try and start over here. Because it's feeding air back in and we want to stop it. So we're gonna try and seal it all back up. The worst is when one door stick's great and the other silvers. We might be dealing with that right now. Yeah. I'm not really sure. Not really sure. I mean, because it got cleaned. Would you use clear Elmer's glue? No, Elmer's I didn't like long term. Turns yellow. It's not meant for UV, so you'd have to use something else that doesn't. Maybe there's just, this one's made a little funnier. Maybe we can do, I think we can get it. Oh, I get it. I get what's going on right now. It's the side. It's right there. It's like it feeds back in. We can get all the points that the air comes in. We should be good. So top, bottom. Ooh, I think we got it. The side looks much better now. So I like keeping a good amount of water still in there if I can. No. Come on. Come on. Ah. No! Go away. I think the alternative is probably just going to be let this sit, but I don't think that'll dry out the same. We're just trying to get out as much air as we can, but it's coming in through a few spots right now. Oh, that's a little better. I think we can get it. I don't think we're screwed. I think it's just about finessing it down. Sandpaper first? Never liked the idea of taking sandpaper to it, but yeah, this gotta dry. I don't want to overly bake it, but no, as it's all drying, damn. As it's all drying, it's all silvering, just evenly down the whole thing, which doesn't look bad per se, but it's not exactly what we were shooting for here. I wonder if it's because we were slightly over. Must have been just slightly overlapped then. I think that would be the only difference. I think I want to redo it. I don't know. Let's try this. See, I was gonna heat it, or I was gonna, let it all kind of tack up and then file off the side here, because I think it's slightly overlapped, but it doesn't look like that's gonna be the case. It's a nice clean edge though, I'll tell you that much. We'll let it sit and we'll see how we can I can't talk. We're gonna leave it. We're just gonna put a lot of heat on it and try and dry it out. And we'll get it to stick as good as we can. We'll come back to it and see what we can do. Because there's still gonna be a fair amount of moisture there. I mean, everything looks really fucking good on it. And it is always a possibility that the other side is gonna get away from me on the bottom. It looks like we did a good job of sealing it in towards the top. But, ooh, don't do that. I just melted part of my towel. See, this all looks pretty flush here. But I didn't exactly push away this bottom. I just kind of thought we got it all dealt with. The shave. I can kind of get it. Excuse me. Oh. Canon. Ow, what the? This thing. I gotta adjust this thing or something. I can file or shave the edge if it's hot and dried out, but other than that, it doesn't usually go well. So that one is nice, but it's not always the case. So I think we gotta move on, and then we'll come back to it and see what it looks like, because this might dry out to a point where we could lock it back down, but I'm a little doubtful. But all the edges, that is like a really fucking good looking window. So that's something that can happen on these. I don't really have a good answer for you guys right now, other than sanding, getting it flush. Dots can always be an issue. I just thought we had it under control with how well the other side went. He can't read. That is true. Yeah, text to speech, like you said. The first part made me laugh. He can't read. That's probably true. Yeah, we're gonna put a little bit more heat, let that dry out. Damn, what a bummer. I'm half tempted to just peel this whole thing, get that edge tighter. So he hears every comment? Pretty much. What do you use to shave it? I'll use a blade. Yeah, there's still water in there. A little bit. Let's just get some other stuff done on this first before we sit here all day. Is this a ceramic or carbon? This is color stable. Color stable. So this back window, really straightforward. How much can I tint? How much can I tint with a full keg? Depends on how much you use. Most of the time, 3-gallon sprayer will get you through like a full day. Steel wool on dots? Yeah, I guess that'd have a similar effect to sanding, but I don't know. I don't like steel wool either. But then again, something for those little BMW side windows would probably be really helpful right now. I just don't know exactly what. So we already dried it a fair amount to the window. So what I'm going to say is we're going to let it sit. We're going to see how much it dries out. We're going to do the rest of the car, and we might revisit it at the end and see what happens. See if it'll lock down a little bit more. Because it's like, you want to get it hot to dry out, and then you kind of want it to like be still warm, but not hot. And you might be able to press some of that down. But yeah, it's best when it's already beforehand. Because there's going to be a fair amount of scratches on these quarters anyways, but you know. It's not an excuse. How much for a BMW whole car? Depends on the film. So this job, this one is $370 with a full windshield. I try to skip forward, but it's live. Yeah, if you could, that would actually help me out a bunch. I would greatly appreciate it if you could just skip forward. What can we use as a substitution for the white strip? There's not a lot. So pinstriping will give you the white line. So if you're looking just for a guide, you could use that. But there's nothing that's quite like it. I wish there was. You could try doubling or tripling up on pinstriping. You could do the button method. There's a handful of other things that you can do to still keep a window safe, but I'm sorry, Glass 8 is very unique, and I hoard a handful of rolls so I don't run out. But I also brought it into existence too, so. Because it was a solution for myself. This kind of started back when I was doing the certified tinter project. I'm like, you know, I really need to figure out a better way to do a back window with like ease of mind that you're not going to scratch it. And what I was running into was if you looked really close, you could see a hairline scratch. It wasn't all the time, but it was like very, very slight. Come on, my little. Holy shit! Thank you. That's what, because you'll splice it apart. Anyways. You'd notice like every once in a while a hairline little scratch. And what I'll say, in normal conditions, people don't notice that. An average car, somebody usually doesn't notice it. It can be very, very faint. You get really close. It's kind of like whatever. They're not looking for it. It's out of sight, out of mind. But you know it's there. And then there came the point where there were a few windows that I cut out. And I'm just going through my day, light cut, snap off a blade, whatever, pull it off. And then all of a sudden there's like a heavier line around it. And you're like, oh, fuck. So I needed a way to basically ensure that that wasn't going to happen at all. So I did a lot of digging, I did a lot of research, and then Glass 8. So nothing that existed before, nothing that you can just go to the store and find, nothing that you can find online, because it didn't exist, and now it does. Oh, that's cool. Do you see that? Look at that. Look at a little like extension there. I thought I was pulling the seat forward. Oh, this is all kinds of adjustments. Damn it. Oh, BMW. Why you do that? You know, that's a flaw. That's a flaw in That's a flaw in some coupes. I hate when this happens. Oh, well, look at that. It goes up with that. So these ones have been worn in. The other ones are stiffer. So the other one is going to fall back on me, which I pull everything through the passenger side. So that makes my life a little bit more fun. What cars do that? There's certain cars that do that worse than others. There's like a Cadillac CTV coupe or something, CTSV coupe. That one wasn't super fun for doing that. You try and put the seats forward, the leather's so like bunched up and stuff like that, it just falls back, and there's already like zero space to get back there. Yeah, no fun. Yeah, so if I miss a comment question, I have to actually walk by the computer and like read it. What percent did you do? 20. 20 on all these sides in the back, and then we're going to be doing 35 on the windshield. So it's going to look sick. Congrats on Glass Aid. Thank you. Jaybird loves it. I'm glad. All right. Gotta be careful here. We got some stickers. We're gonna cut right over them, and we're not going to hurt them because we don't want to hurt the grapple bees. Definitely don't want to hurt the grapple bees. So let's see. When is it back in stock? I'm gonna get that question nonstop. Unfortunately, not till late this month, if that's the case. Go real light. See, look at that. Oh, she. There we go. Saved. Yeah, the last update that I had at the beginning of May was the beginning of June, and now I just double checked on an update because it's the beginning of June, and now it's like the end of June, and I'm like, what the fuck? They're like, and then it needs to be processed. That's like the extra fun part about it. It's not just like, oh, cool, once it gets here, it's here. No, it's it's still gonna be processed. That's just the material. And then it's gotta, you know, so, I don't know, probably beginning of July. Start a Detroit Tint Studio Glass Aid factory. See, it's at this in-between spot. It's become more in demand, and parts of it are out of my control, and it would never make sense to go full production, but there's some parts that if I spent literally probably 20 grand, I could put a fair more amount of it under this roof, and that would be, I think, worth doing. It'd be a big expense, and I'd have to learn a lot more about logistics, like even more than I've had to figure out, because you have like port and customs and all types of extra little things associated with that. So that is something that I don't want to have to like do, but maybe we'll get there. It's like one of those things that you didn't think would be so much work, and then all of a sudden it turned into a whole bunch of work. I'll buy $100 worth when it comes in. Nice. I appreciate it. You want to buy $10,000 worth though, and then let's get this factory going. All right. So we got some quarters. There's shrunk. We need a side swipe, bulldozer for good measure, probably a towel. And if we could get a new back seat here, that'd be great. But probably not. And then we need our sprayer before we forget. Okay, so this guy, again, if you held it here long enough, it'd probably wear out to where it would stay. I'll flip over that because we're going to be doing a lot of stepping back here. Okay, so this was tinted before. We were made aware of that. That's okay. Question, do these seats fold forward? I think that they do, actually. Dang. Alright. Alright, in and out. Any bodies? No. They do. Okay. No bodies. Is 50 too light? No, not at all. It definitely is light, but what I'll give 50 a lot more credit than I used to. I used to say, don't bother. And then that's because I got so accustomed to 35. 50 on a windshield is great. 50 on the sides gives you actually a nice little tinted appearance. So sounds like exactly what you're looking for. A little bit tinted. I would suggest that if you want a little bit more than aesthetics, go for ceramic. Because that's one thing that the ceramic films and carbon films have over everything else. You can get a really comfortable driving experience with ceramic and keep it in as light of a shade as you want and still get basically all the benefits. Where like 50% in a regular film isn't going to do anything else for you other than look good in black UV. So, just a suggestion. Sometimes I've done a handful, 70% windshields. So you can't even tell that they're tinted. But you block out lots of heat. You know, I always say that if somebody ever removes film, I can tell because they'll leave some evidence. I haven't been able to find any evidence yet. How long does the clay bar last? At least 2 to 3 months, if not longer. No, I'm gonna say at least 3 months. By the end of like a lot of usage, 3 months, it's still very functional. You can still use it. It just starts to look more gray. I went with white on the clay bars so you could actually see if they're doing anything. There's a lot of like, you know, interesting colors and stuff, but the white ones is like, whoa. I am thoroughly cleaning this window. Hell yeah. A good film you still want to see out of? I think 20. If 20 is too dark for you, do 35. But 20 is like, it's gonna be a little dark at night. But during the daytime, 20 is like super easy to see out of. Nighttime, it's still not bad. There's just gonna be like, if you go down like extra dark roads and whatever else, you'll have a little bit of an issue. Blue Max! Yeah, for today. Who knows? Who knows what it'll be tomorrow? But Blue Max back for today. Oh God. See, it's locking. That's another problem. Is if this keeps locking. That's where a reverse roll comes in handy. But me, Okay, just carry him in. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Hold it back. This isn't a big window, so we can do this. Oh shit, look at that. We're in. Shoulder up against the seat, turn. Ta-da! How about that? Tint gymnastics. Look at that. We're in. We would have had a real tough time if we couldn't get that seat to lay a little bit forward. I got a CTSV, I got a 5% all around and 5% on the windshield. How about that? How about that? Damn, dude. See, I get so many different people here. So I always ask if somebody's had tint before, because I would just like assume that everybody kind of, like, people kind of know what they're looking for, but I was just like, wait, have you had tint before? And this person was like, no. And then there's another person I asked too, and they said no, it was my first time getting tint. I'm like, holy shit, I'm tinting for so many people that have never had tint before. Oh my god. Let me explain this now. So, when I leave it that open-ended, and people have no idea what shade that they want to go with, that can make it a little difficult to figure out what they're looking for. But then sometimes they'll go through that spiel, and then they'll be like, oh, I just want 5% all the way around. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Well, that makes that easy. Thank you. Ta-da! Cool, that went well. A lot of room for this back window, so that's always very welcomed. No third brakes in the way either. Just very tight to get in. But not the worst. I think the Camaros are worse than this. This one at least feels like it has a little bit of height to it. Alright. So next up, we got the quarter window panel. So we can just hang out in here until all three pieces are installed. Oh, it's just, if somebody's never had window tint before, it's like, you know, they've seen it, they know about it, but they've never really heard anything else about it other than that. So it's nice to be able to, like, these are different types of films. It's more than just looks. If you're interested, this is kind of what you get. This is the best bang for your buck, in my opinion. And you just kind of, like, show them all their options. So when they haven't actually had it before, it's cool, because usually they're a little interested to hear all about, you know, oh, okay, no, I didn't realize that. It's nice. So there we go. There's another one. A lot of room on this one too. Kudos to the designer of this one. He gave me lots of room. Except for those front doors. Yeah, so with the, if you're wondering, with the Blue Max I can definitely press out more water quicker. But it's harder on the film too, so there's pros and cons to them. He's using the blue or the Clear Crush. I was using that one. How long have you been tinting cars for? About 13 years now. Should be 13 years this summer, I think. Yeah, or 14. Oh God, 13. That's 13. 30 years. I've been tinting for 30 years. Do you have cars that you don't like to tint? No, I love tinting. Oh yeah. Yep, there definitely are. There's just different types of seals, tighter windows, tighter tolerances, pain in the ass to get to, hydrophobic coatings, you name it. There's a whole mess of reasons why some windows are a big pain in the ass to do. Clear Crush is my favorite. Nice. I didn't even think about it as a tinting squeegee so much, like as like a do everything squeegee, but I bought all of them and I just had it sitting there and I'm like, you know what? Why do you clean windows with a spatula? Why not? It's all that they had at Walmart. I use red lines for everything. That is one I didn't like. I know there's a lot of people that like that one. That was like a super aggressive blue max. But that's cool. They've got so many different kinds. Everybody's got like their own preference on them. I don't think I understood it when I used it though. So I nicked it really fast. It was like extra expensive. I used it and then I created a nick in the blade like within like the first 5 minutes of using it. And then I was like, this sucks. And I used it a little bit more and I'm like, holy shit. How long does a Blue Max last before you change it? Depends. I sometimes get really irritated at them pretty fast, so I don't think I'm going to be using it all that long. I think it's already starting to show its a couple days worth of age. God. No, not good. There was a hair hanging down somewhere. One that was relatively small. Oh, no, it is coming off. Ooh, yay. Oh, we got lucky. Sweet. Let's check it out. There's a few different types of hairs. There's the type of hair that'll embed itself into the glue and you'll sit there scraping it. And then there's some that'll just kind of fall out of the film. And when it's on the edge, that means safe. Have you ever experienced a customer ceramic coating the interior of the windows? Not yet. That definitely concerns me. I don't think you'd be able to tint it without getting it removed. I don't think there's any way around it. You know, I've used glass aid with ceramic coating on the glass, and it doesn't stick either. It's just, it starts falling right off. Sometimes I feel not so smart. That's a lot of times. You guys ever do that where you like put something down and then walk out of this side, walk around to get my heat gun, and then I have to walk around literally the entire car because I should have gone the other way. Can you explain ceramic coatings? It's nothing that I'm, like, I know enough about, but I couldn't tell you much about the specifics, but basically, ceramic coating is for paint and glass, mostly for paint. It just, stuff beads off of it. It keeps your car cleaner and protects your paint more. So it'll give your paint a nice hydrophobic coating. And so if you put that on the inside of the glass, like we have adhesives and we spray water, all that water just starts beating right down, and the glue, like it's not gonna work. So what I don't know is how easy it would be to spray a chemical and basically like a ceramic coating remover. Because on glass, it's not the same. It doesn't last as much on glass. That's why I actually haven't offered anything. Something I was looking into was also glass polishing and glass coatings, but I couldn't find anything that lasted more than like 6 months. So like Rain-X? Yeah, exactly. Rain-X, that's the easiest way to say it. Rain-X for the inside of the windows and the outside, but they put it on the inside. It's like somebody that takes Armor All and sprays it all over the paneling. It's just one of those things that drive me crazy. And it might be one of those questions you have to start asking people. It's almost like, have you had your windows tinted before? Have your windows ever been tinted on like older vehicles? It's sometimes something like an extra old car or whatever. You know, like somebody calls me with like an older model Fusion or Grand Prix or something. I'll usually ask them like, have you actually, have the windows ever been tinted? So asking them, have you ever on newer, nicer cars especially, is where you'd be more likely to see something like that. Like, have you ever ceramic coated the car? Any coatings on the inside of the windows would... Ta-da! Cool. So we got back glass, we got quarter windows. This is looking good. Canon. I asked an old guy if his car was tinted, and he goes, "If they were, I wouldn't be calling you." Nice. Gotta love people sometimes. Well, that's just a stupid thing to ask me because why would I get them tinted? Which way do I need to do this? Did I just make it bigger? I didn't make it bigger, did I? Oh, I did. Oh, I need to go this way. Oh, maybe I can fix this a little bit. I need to tighten this up. It's getting too baggy. My brain is shrinking or something. What would you do on dot matrix on a back window? You just tint it as best as you can. There isn't a whole lot you can do. There we go. Whoa! Dean!
Dean Petrozevic super chatted $4.63. Thank you for sharing your tricks and knowledge.
Dean! Dean with the $6. Thank you for sharing your tricks and knowledge. I appreciate the super chat. You are very welcome. Appreciate that a whole lot. Good God.
Daniel Rayner super chatted $9.99.
Super chatted.
I bow down to you, master.
Super shattered. Daniel Reyna with a 10. Thank you. I hope you're feeling better, man. I bow down to you, master. Oh, come on now. No. We all tint here. Well, some of us do. Not everybody, but, you know. I'm just a tinter, too. Thank you. I know you're kidding. The transmitter gets really hot for me. Does yours? Yes, it does, but it sits on the back, so I don't feel it. Yeah, it gets really warm. There's a lot going on with it. So that's why I was super impressed that a GoPro could do 1080p live streaming while you're also just straight from the thing. Isn't that backwards, though? You just called me master, and you be Batman and I be Robin? Whoa. I think you're Batman, and I'll be Batman. We'll be two Batmans.
Daniel Rayner super chatted $4.99.
I have to let it play.
We should join up and I be Batman and you be Robin.
Thank you for the 5. I stand by what I said. There'll be two Batmans. All right, let's put this back in a box. Oh, I think I've fixed my headset a little bit. Feels snug. 35. Let's check out 35 here. What a distance. Stay. Good tint roll. Alrighty, let's line this up. A spatula. A spatula. I'll have you know, this is the official Detroit Tint Studio Squeegee here. A spatula. Oh. Whenever you try and shave a window, you destroy the blade. Makes tough cutting. Should we do this? Yeah, I guess so. It's kind of out of the way, but not really. Can you do a reverse roll on the window? Oh, yeah, we will. This one, consider changing your name to Thank God. No, that is a channel meme. This is not something I take seriously here. I mean, maybe Tint Cult? I don't know. So, on windshields, back windows versus windshields, I started reverse rolling them a while ago, and I think it's the better way to do a windshield. On back windows, they're easier to just carry in. You still have all the paneling around it. There are people that like have no problems doing reverse roll on back windows. For me, it's always been kind of a pain. So I learned how to not reverse roll, and then I had to pick up reverse rolling later. But on windshields especially, it's like, it's just, for me, it's the way to go. Back windows, yeah. Back windows aren't as wide as a windshield is, so that's one reason they're at least a little easier to carry in and stuff. Still keep clean. Oh, and we're using Pro Classic. Yeah, sometimes there's a lot of times I'll try and take a little extra time and explain what I'm doing on a windshield. I've done that a lot. So we're just doing like pretty much, this is normally tinting a windshield. This is about about as fast as I go. Can push it a little bit more if I really wanted to. No, by all means not the fastest shrinker, but just good pace. Get your heat gun close. That's how you get it nice and hot. And you're just kind of looking for it to go sideways, and the more you do it, the more you just kind of like, yep, it's ready to push down, just yep. And then I'll always bake it a little bit more along the line. And then after we cut it, pull, we'll go back on all the edges. That was something I always did regardless of the tape in the way or not. Oh, so this. Oh no, that's not a good example. That's just an air pocket. I was gonna say, if you press the film down too fast, you can crease it, but you can do like a really light crease with a felt card and still like shrink it out. I thought that was that. That's not that. What about shrinking from the edge out? Why? You don't need to like overcomplicate it. I mean, just kind of do what comes easier to you. But like, if you're not sure on how to shrink or you're new to shrinking, just kind of stick to what you see. Are you still holding GME that blew up? Yep. Diamond hands, boy. Probably gonna be holding it for way too long. Yeah, I haven't sold anything. I've only ever bought more. Anytime there's like a severe crash day, and like, so price was pretty stable in like the hundreds, and then it crashed down to like 130, and I ended up adding like in 130, 120. My average is 110. But yeah, it's I've been saying for a while, there's gonna their shareholder meeting is actually this week. So I think they're gonna disclose how many votes there are, which should be pretty fun. Still the same story. I think there's an insane amount of short selling on it, and I think it's gonna absolutely blow up. 600 AMC at 16, nice. AMC is a whole different story. I am like, congrats to everybody that made a killing on that. I hope it still keeps going up. I have to imagine that the two being so kind of connected that it will, but it really is a different story altogether. So that's why like GME is more expensive, but when you look at like the market caps, that's where it's like, you know, somebody buying shares for $250, they'll probably buy more AMC first. But there's more AMC shares to be bought, so market caps and all that. So I think when one goes, the other one will. Yeah, the question is, who's gonna be bigger? But everybody's gonna make a killing on that. They're definitely like, they're so associated. But it's been crazy to see AMC make significantly more gains lately, so that's cool. You fix them everywhere. Oh, the blades? Canon. Thoughts on 3%? It's dark. Do you have a magnet? Oh, do you have a magnet to pick up all the razors when you clean the mats out? No. No, I just I just swept them. I just swept them all together. There might be a few still on the floor somewhere. It's just, there's a whole lot of blades. That's a long time habit. Like, every shop that I've ever worked at is like razor blades go on the floor. And that might not make a lot of sense, but like when you're in a shop, just a busy whatever car shop, like you got techs doing remote starters, they cut wires, they throw that shit on the ground, and then they sweep it all up after. So you just get used to all of that. It's just a long time habit. So I could get a big old magnet. I just I haven't. What tint would you recommend to practice with? Check out Tint Depot. Check out some of their more economical films, but try to stay away. Like, you don't have to stay away from the 1mm, but it's not going to be a super accurate representation of what you're going to be using. You'll still learn a lot from 1mm film. Most of the stuff you're going to be using is 1.5. So get yourself a nice economical 1.5mm film, probably like dyed, because it'll be easier to learn how to shrink with, and start there. You don't have to worry so much about installing like a super quality product when you're just practicing, because I mean, it's not, the whole point is to put it on, take it off, put it on, take it off. Just do that a bunch of times over. You can learn so much from your own car. There'll be lots of little things that you didn't even think of. Handling the film, proper cleaning, even squeegeeing a window top to the bottom can seem a little odd when you first do it. All that. I have 6 cars. What do you do? That is a lot of practice. God damn. I got people that are like, I don't have a car to even practice on. Why am I watching? He's got 6. I don't have 6 cars. I learned tinting like I learned how to drive a stick shift. I learned on other people's cars. Woo. We don't have to jump out of the car. We can put the headrest in when we're here. Which way do they go? So, one of my first jobs, okay, actually get this, was valeting. It was a car valet, but it was with, Nick got me a job there. And one of the questions that they ask is like, can you drive a manual? And he was like, just tell them you can, you'll never get one. And I was like, sure I can. Eventually, guess what I got? I got a manual that pulled up. And I was like, get in the cars, and I like freeze. So the doors to the restaurant were right there. So I just like left the car there, waited for them to walk in, and then I stalled it like 3 times in front of the back. And then I stalled it another like 3 times trying to get it to a parking spot. And I was super nervous. I'm like, I have to bring this car back. This guy's gonna be super pissed. I don't know how to drive his car. The parking was actually really close to where the door was. So I drove it around, and then all you had to do was walk through a gate. You could walk through it, but you couldn't actually drive through it. And thank God. He saw the car there, walked straight through, took the keys, and left. They were there to, like, see a band or something, and they didn't have good seats. So you're the reason customers are extra sketchy when they hand me keys to the manual? Yes. Yes, exactly. Because some young dumbass said they could drive their car no problem and then couldn't. These dots aren't going to stick. The rest of it turned out good. I think we're going to leave it. I wish it could stick better. It's not a complete guarantee. I was hoping we'd be able to get these to stick better, but I think this is how they're going to be. The edges are like fucking perfect too. The rest of it turned out so nice. Look at that edge. Look at that edge. It's even though. So that's at least like the silver lining here. It all looks pretty even. All right, let's do the rest of it. Cannon. Cannon. Oh, God.
Daniel Rayner super chatted
Oh, my God.
$19.99. Salutations, young Jedi tinters. Obi-Wan Kenobi Master Matt is a one-of-a-kind tinting educator. A rare live stream source for the advanced innovative auto solar protection technology for tinting and installation.
Daniel Reyna with the 20. Good God. Salutations, young Jedi. Oh, you heard it. Obi-Wan Kenobi Master Matt is one of a kind tinter. I like this part. A rare live stream source for the advanced innovative auto solar protection technology. Thank you for the 20. You know, I've wondered, how many ways can you say window tint? Like, how can you make window tint sound extra fancy? We all just say window tint, but like, Daniel Reyna nailed it. He said auto solar protection technology. Like, damn, we sound fancy now. I just tint cars. Or do you deal with the automotive solar protection? Oh, so I heard this. It was in a video, and I think I'm going to steal it. So, trying to convey what ceramic really does can be a little bit difficult. Like, it makes sense when you have a heat lamp. Like, it blocks more heat. It's like, okay, but like, you know, you show them the heat lamp, it's like, oh. But I was watching this video, and a YouTuber, he took his car to get it tinted. And he said he was doing like a little side-by-side, like regular tint versus the ceramic, and he kept saying infrared ceramic. Like, I just get it with the regular tint, or I'm going with the infrared ceramic on mine. I was like, God, that makes it sound fancy as hell. I might steal that one. Because, like, I always say it blocks out infrared heat, for sure, but I don't ever call it just infrared ceramic. But that's kind of what it is. It's infrared ceramic heat blocking technology. Super duper. Maybe not super duper, but... All right. Moving on. Put this towel down. Solar auto engineer. I'm a solar auto engineer. Is that true though? I feel like engineer is the designer. You ever feel like stopping on a car and taking a nap? Most of the time, no. But it can get to the point where like, if I take a lunch break and I, like, slow down to eat lunch, then I'll have a hard time getting motivated back into it. But most of the time, I've indirectly been, I don't want to say punished, but that's kind of what it always seemed like. Whenever I took a break, I would be behind on the work. So that was never fun either. So when you're working at a busy shop, and they would sometimes tell you, go ahead, take a lunch break, you're fine. And then so you take like a 20-minute lunch break, and you come back and there's 3 more cards on the board, and you're like, what the hell? They're like, what? Those are the appointments. And you'd be like, yeah, and I took a lunch break. You didn't plan for me to take the lunch break. You just told me to take the lunch break. They're like, yeah, well, you'll be fine, right? And now you're trying to play catch up. That was like uber annoying. Oh, did we ruin this piece? Oh, we might have ruined it. Ooh, dang, yeah we did. It's like double-sided stick tape now. So there's this little module here. We're just going to make sure that that doesn't get wet. And then same thing for this guy down here. So do that. And then these wires, these are gonna kind of be strung up out of the way. These visors usually do a pretty good job of holding those. Bippity bop, good deal. I think I might pull this towel before I actually reverse roll it in. Ooh, this has been replaced at one point too. There's this little of butyl right there. Little speckles on this thing too. We're gonna have to go over this pretty thoroughly. I'm feeling some stuff. Let's clean that off. So I know there's 4-inch razors. Has anybody actually found 2-inch razors? 2 or 2.5? Because I would really like some wider razor blades. This whole cleaning windows with 1-inch razor blades gets real tedious really quick. And you just need to cover a lot of surface. I don't like using a knife sideways. I feel like I miss stuff that way, but if I could make a razor blade like an inch wider, maybe 2. I don't know if the 4-inch one would handle the curves really well. I feel like the ends would scratch or something. Is there something? Somebody got anything? Anyways. I don't know. eBay? Yeah, I looked. There's only 1-inch ones, or at least I did a general search. And there wasn't anything wider that popped up. It was all 1-inch razor blades. 1-inch razor blades are like, you know, these. So red dot sideways. Not my favorite. It works, but I've missed too many things that way. There was one. I remember seeing like it was a brand new Grand Cherokee. It got unfortunately scratched to hell with a red dot used sideways improperly. But on some of the lower areas, yeah, it's kind of what you gotta do. Invent something. I think it needs to be wider though. So 1-inch razor blades versus this, I like the length. This could be a little bit longer. There's the 4-inch ones. I mean, I guess you could maybe cut those down and put them in some type of a holder. Cut them in half, and then you have 2-inch ones. You just want something that's a little bit more efficient. Or just go back to using Avery Dennison NR. Then I never have to worry about glue. But I guess you still have other speckles to worry about. We're going to squeegee this out one more time. And we're going to clay bar over it too for good measure. I'm going to pull this towel right before I do the final install though. It's just a little tight against the glass. And we have the soak rope down there. So the towel is collecting most of the water. And then we have the towel underneath it that's going to collect the remainder of the water. Or the rope, whatever. It'll be good. How much does this set of windows? 6 windows? So most cars without the windshield is gonna start at $240. And yeah, that you can do 25, 50, whichever shade you want to do. Put a 6-inch blade in a side swipe. I did see that, yeah. That might be the way to go. Little scary. Those blades are sharp. If it had more of a holder, like slapping it in the side swipe, that's what kind of like tripped me out. I was like, it works. And then you grab that side swipe and then you slice your fingers off. Started using clay bar to clean, love it. Especially on back windows. Nice, very nice, glad to hear it. There was a company, they sent me, like the whole reason I started using it was just by like happenstance. There was a company that was like, hey, we like your channel. We want to introduce some better glass cleaning products. Here they are. Like they had a couple microfiber towels and a clay bar. And they're like, we want to sponsor a video. I was like, sweet, that's awesome. Let's do it. And then so we came up with the idea of like super cleaning a window. It looked like that would actually do pretty well. And then they sent me those handful of things. They didn't ask for anything in particular. They just said they were sending stuff. And then I was like, okay, so this is the rate for the video, and I need half down on the video. And they're like, yeah, we don't do that. And I was like, well, why not? It's just I gotta have some type of security because I've never worked with you guys before. And they're like, well, we don't know that you're gonna for real make the video. And then I was like, okay. Well, I can send it to you before it goes live, but I'm not gonna put in all this work without at least getting a deposit on the video. And then next thing you know, it just all fell apart. And they're like, we'll talk to our legal team and get something written up. And I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. And then I just never heard from them again. And I was like, okay, I guess that's over with. So I had clay bars. Oh, I need that sprayer. Whoa, I got both of them over here? How'd I do that? So I had clay bars sitting around, and then I was using rewind to raw on glass, and that was going pretty well. And then I ran out, and then I wanted to use something, so then I started using clay bar. And I was like, I wonder how this will work. And I was like, holy shit, this is amazing for clay bars. So part of the thing with like finding a product to constantly recommend is people always ask where to buy it. And it gets like, I hate having to tell you guys Home Depot, Lowe's, Menards for carpet shield. I just hate it. I wish there was like, I wish tint tool suppliers held it. So it was the same thing for clay bars. Nobody had clay bars. So then we got clay bars. And we put them somewhere where you guys could find them and actually find other ways to like learn about them and stuff like that. So that's a random odd clay bar story. But yeah, I was really surprised. Like nobody had clay bars in any tint store at all. And I was like, more people need to know about this because they're actually super helpful. I felt it was like, hey, cool, I can actually figure something out. I've gotten so much help from people. It's like, it's cool to find something else in a world where everything has kind of been figured out on some way, shape, or form. I like the rewind to raw though. Oops. I just didn't like the grit. So it definitely has its place. On a Dodge back window day and night? That's cool. I still turn on the defrosters on those. I'm scared. I tried without it once and I still had like a couple little ones. But yeah, dude, it pulls off so much garbage off those windows. That was just unbelievable. I think that to me was what was most shocking. Because if it was like on top edges and doors and general cleaning, it'd kind of be like whatever. And then I started using it on defrosters. I was like, what the fuck have I been tinting over? You can even use like a scrub pad. Like go through with like your rather regular cleaning regimen, like a scrub pad and stuff like that. And then use a clay bar and it'll still pull extra stuff off that was sitting there. Kind of crazy. All right. We're reverse rolling. That is out of the way. Yay. We got a nice non-seamed cutout. Clay bars can be found at lots of auto parts stores. Yeah, you can even find them at like Meijer and Walmart. You can find them all over the place. But here's the funny thing. Most people still won't. Some will, but most people won't. I bring that up because, like, when somebody told me that, like, Awesome was locally available at the dollar store, well, I never go to the dollar store, so I would never go out of my way to go get it. But it's easy and more likely that somebody would at least try it out if it's in a tint store because that's where they already order from. So yeah, you can find it in those local stores. But if it's kind of just like, sometimes people go out of their way to do it, and then but most of the time it's just like they won't. Like when people are telling me like, yeah, go get this from Home Depot, I'm like, man, I have to go to Home Depot now. I don't want to go to Home Depot. All clay bars are the same? Not exactly. So, there are different grades. Like somebody said, there's fine, medium, and harder ones. And even with those, clay bars will act a little differently one from another. So the Adams clay bar, for example, I tried that out. It's a really good soft clay bar. But in the summertime, I think it's actually a little bit too soft. And some clay bars will start to leave sticky spots behind. So what's cool about the Glass Aid ones that I have is they're actually they're harder, so they hold their shape a little bit better, and they don't leave sticky spots on hot windows. So that was actually kind of a big issue when I first started using them, is they would leave like a smudge spot on a window. If you're going over, like, you know, you're wiping it off, glass starts evaporating all the water, and then all of a sudden you hit the spot and it leaves a smudge, kind of like a glue spot. So yeah, like clay bars, we just use soapy water and wipe over it, so you don't even need any special sprays. Just literally adds to your cleaning. Do you have any tips for removing scratches? Unfortunately, no. There's like some polishing kits out there. A company that I would maybe contact is called Glass Weld, GLASWELD. They said they have some stuff that works. It just most of the time, from what I've seen, I haven't looked at anything in a while, so that's why I say maybe ask them, or yeah, somebody in chat might have something for you. I've seen people take like old glass polishing kits and like a DA type thing, and it didn't fix it. If the scratch is deep enough, it's kind of done for. I got Glass Aid clay bars from this gamer/tinter guy online. Works great though. Glad to hear it. What's the rope at the bottom? That's what's called the soap shield. It's a microfiber rope. It helps with sucking up all the moisture as you're spraying the window and stuff like that. So it soaks up all the water, keeps all the electronics on the other side of that safe. Very, very good thing to have. Wow. What are your prices? What do you need? They vary. Have you had problems when shrinking a back window that tint won't stick to the outside? So it should always stick to the outside. If it's not sticking, maybe there's like an overspray. That would be the only thing I can think of, because it's glass is all glass. The only thing is hydrophobic coatings, but for all windows except windshield? Yeah, on what vehicle? Woo! Woo! An RSX? What is that? Hang on, I'm gonna let that sit for a sec. Depends on the vehicle. More often than not, it's 240 without the windshield. But it depends on the film too. Oh, Acura RSX. That's why. I don't get Acura very often. It sounded familiar, but it sounded like an Acura or Infiniti type of thing. Acura. Desktop. Well, this doesn't look odd to me. Working on an RSX so they can't get the back window to stick, shrinking it. Any words? No, this should be really straightforward. It's a little tall, so you might have a little bit more to shrink. What I would see is if there's any overspray on the window. So clay bar wouldn't fix overspray, but what I like, if it feels like there's literally paint overspray or something, if it doesn't feel smooth, then you have something there that's letting a bunch of air in. But it should be as simple as getting a halfway decent dryer sheet. Like, I'm just saying, if you don't have dry shrink prep, and you're just doing the dry shrinking method and you need dryer sheets, cheap dryer sheets will make it stupid annoying to try and shrink a back window. So use like Bounce or Snuggles. Those are both pretty solid options that are available in a lot of places. That's pretty much all I would suggest, though. Tried clay barring and sand. No. He's talking about shrinking the outside. Like, so this has nothing to do with it sticking to the inside, right? Just literally trying to shrink a window and it's just like not shaping properly. Is it like one of your first back windows or like what's going on? Because that sounds super easy to fix. The only thing I can think of is there's an overspray on the window that's letting air feed back into the film. Other than that, it should just shrink. Put down some like dryer sheet and dry shrink prep, you're off to the races, bippity bop, boom. See, this is that butyl, or sorry, urethane. Cut around that little guy right there. Perfect. Dang. Polishing from paint overspray? Oh, so yeah, if there's paint overspray, then just take a razor blade and scrape it all off. Spray it with some soapy water, razor blade, you'll be good to go. Makes sense. Yeah. All right, let's put this mirror back. Yeah, just like you'd scrape a sticker. Get that crap off. Okay, so we got this one. We got this one. Tied dryer sheets. Yep, those sound like they'd be fine. I just like dryer sheets are weird. Most are fine. Most like name brand ones are fine. It's just like seriously one of those odd things. Like we've got Meyer dryer sheets, and even the Costco ones really sucked. Costco ones were like extra sticky or something. I don't know why, but they just were. Yay! Look at that. We got that rotated back on. That's just like the Rams. So now I got these dumb pieces that we got put back in. It's probably going to take longer than removing it. We'll probably, in a few minutes, go, why did we do this? Why did we do this? But hopefully not. Overspray, get a razor blade. Yep. That's what I think. Come on. Come on. It's just about getting all the little pegs to line up. This is about as frustrating as a Dodge Ram mirror can be to put back together too, so this isn't weird. This is just a little plastic housing. Oof, they literally clipped it back together. It's awkward. Gotta do some workout here. Ooh, get it? Just this top one. Oh, the wire's in the way. Oh no! God damn it. Definitely start at the top. I think we're almost there. Aha! We got it. Done. My back hurts now. You know, that was worth all the pain and struggle. I actually don't think I have ever cut around these, ever. I think I've always just... No, I think... sorry, I said that wrong. I don't think I've ever taken those apart. I think most of them I've just looked at and gone, oh, there's wires there, there's a big old housing, and just do it. Little splice. Those dots are so close together that I wouldn't fault anybody for leaving a splice there. You know, similar to like a Ford mirror. But that one, yeah, that one, like I've been doing the Rams. I've been doing the Rams enough. The 1 Series is easier, the older 3 Series suck. Oh, you know what? That's probably what I've been running into then. Well, like, yeah, I haven't done a 1 Series. But that's probably why I only ever looked at them and haven't done much. But it's been such a long while since I've had one of those to like try and pull apart, that it was nice that we could do it on this one. So, well, we probably won't do it on a 3 Series. Maybe we will. Does anybody take their belt off when they go to tint a windshield now? It just keeps like pressing up against me and it gets annoying. Dang! Newer 3 Series, the mirror slides down. Well, that's helpful. Thank you. Just like the new Ford mirrors all have screws now. Thank you, Ford. Thank you for hearing literally years of agony and windshield breakage, and all the engineers probably going, well, just leave it on. Why would you need to take it off? Yeah, okay. Okay there, bud. Let's get some glass cleaner. Finish off these windows. Should be all set. Like, I will take the way that, like, taking apart a complicated mirror housing, take that all day versus splicing it. I feel better about it. So yeah, the Ford ones, those ones have a little screw. They're pretty easy to get to. Some of them have like bigger plastic housings that just kind of like pop down. Some of them are a little tight. Not too bad. But man, at least you have an option to like cut around the whole thing and not make it look stupid. We're just having like the tabs with the impossible mirror and a splice. It's like, ugh. Hey, I made it. Sorry I'm a little late. All good. We're wrapping up here. Caught the very end. All good. Dang. This looks sweet. So unfortunately, those little scratches that are in here, once it dries out, those are going to stick out. Little thin hairline scratches always do. They'll fill with water and then they'll dry out. And then they'll also stick out on the outside too. There's that. Dang! Look at that. So, what's extra nice about this glass here, is that the whole dot matrix border is actually in the glass, so you're not going to see that either. So it's all going to kind of blend real nice. Good, good. Let's make sure this is locked. Ta-da! Let's close the other one. Make sure, I don't think we left the key in here. It was one concern that we had. This is the only key. Okay, cool. I don't usually ever leave it in, but when it gets brought up, it's like, maybe now we will. All right, all good. Cool. Well, dang. That's a sick looking car. I like this guy. This is nice. Full windshield. Came out really, really nice. Not exactly the biggest of windshields. Same thing for the rest of the windows. Whoever is asking if people are liking the video, I greatly appreciate your service. You're doing God's work here. I don't like to harp on liking, subscribing, any of that. It's just kind of, it does help. For sure does help, but I don't know. Canon. Woo! Boom.
Adam Repike super chatted $5. Looks super clean. Nice job as always.
Boy, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Adam with the 5 looks super clean. Nice job as always. I greatly appreciate that, man. Thank you. Do I have to repeat them if he says them for me? I don't know. I should listen back and see how it seems. Thank you. I definitely appreciate that. Whoa, you have a crazy profile picture. Thank you. All right. Boys. Liked an hour and a half ago? My man. Much appreciate. Thank you. All right. Well, everything on this is all set. I got to let him know. But he's probably seen this already. I don't know. Maybe he tuned in and out. But anyways, so this one is all set. And I am going to end the stream. So Monday is Monday? Yes, Monday's the next one. So we got another stream coming Monday. And I don't know. We have a 1 o'clock and we have a 10 o'clock. So what I'm going to be... No. I'm so sorry. Holy shit, I forgot. I'm off Monday. I'm off Monday. It's birthday, so I have a birthday day on Monday. So I'll be back on Wednesday. Sorry. I thought it was going to be sooner than that. I have a birthday day. So I will be back then. And then in the meantime, y'all have a good one. Thank you so much for all the super chats. Oh, let's go shout those out really quick. I totally forgot. So, Adam with the 5. Daniel Reyna with the 20. Daniel Reyna. Good God, man. Thank you. Definitely appreciate the support from you. Dean, Jose, Kendall, Jose, Kendall, Jose. Oh, my God. We got another one.
Jose78 Rios super chatted $3.99. Well done, all have good weekend and be safe.
Sorry. Jose with the 4. Thank you so much. Well done. Have a good weekend. Be safe. Thank you. You're always sending good vibes, man. Really appreciate that one. Coming in at the very end. Alrighty. Well, I got to take off. I got to check with this guy. And I will check you out in the next stream. Wednesday. Please let me know the best website to buy window tint online. Check out Tint Depot or GeoShield. Those two, for sure. Alrighty, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.